Invisible on ABC 7 News, brought to you by Street Auto Group. Our community matters.
The problem of homelessness is not limited to larger cities. Given what is happening with the economy, small towns all over the country are dealing with the same issues.
And this week's Invisible takes a look at one panhandle town and how they are trying to help homeless people find a new path.
When you think about the homeless, the picture you imagine is of a larger metropolitan area.
I hear that a lot. Borger doesn't have a homelessness problem. Yes, we do.
Men sleeping on the street.
They're not visible in Borger because they go into vacant houses.
Or panhandling under an overpass.
No, they don't stand under an underpass because we've only got one underpass in Borger.
But smaller towns are facing the same problems. Travel about 45 minutes northeast of Amarillo to Hutchinson County, and you'll arrive at the lovely town of Borger. And if anyone here falls on hard times and needs a place to stay, there's the Salvation Army. If they are hungry, there is a food pantry. But how about changing your life's path? That's when you'll want to meet April Davis.
We have a very unique opportunity to focus on career and education. So what we help people do is build a resume, apply for jobs. We help them obtain a birth certificate so that they can get a photo ID, so that they can have that documentation when they do get the job. The other thing we do is help them go to college. So the FAFSA process is quite interesting and quite frustrating. So my job is to help them make it through that FAFSA application without giving up.
April is the executive director of High Plains Helping Hands, and they are dedicated to getting folks off the street and into school or profession. And sometimes that means she has to be something of a detective.
He came in and said, I cannot get my birth certificate. I don't even think it's possible. And so through a lot of prayer, and a little bit of maneuvering things and making phone calls, he was able to get his birth certificate yesterday.
April says it's tough sometimes to steer a person in the right direction.
And not everybody shows their motivation, maybe like I do, and you've got to realize that, just because someone doesn't appear to be motivated to me doesn't mean they're not.
And it doesn't always work.
Forgive me for getting emotional, but those are the stories that break my heart when I can't get them motivated, because I know if I can't get them in here and I can't motivate them, there is no next step for them. This is the next step. So if I can't motivate you to apply for those jobs, if I can't get you motivated to apply for FAFSA, to go to school, let's look at your options at going to Frank Phillips. If I can't provide that motivation, then I don't know what the next step for them is.
But when it does, she says that feeling is what keeps her going.
That's the reason I'm still here. A lot of people get burnt out doing nonprofit work like this, and I've seen it, and every once in a while I experience it too, but it never fails that every time I feel, man, I just feel like I'm spinning my wheels with no results here this week, and it never fails. Within 2 or 3 days, I have a client come in the door that I'm able to do exponential things for them that they weren't able to get done on their own.
Funded largely by the United Way, High Plains Helping Hands is facing the same restrictions as any organization during this pandemic, and that means living lean. But for April, the joy is in the challenge to find the unfindable, change the unchangeable, and to make clear the invisible.
It is why I'm here. I'm extremely passionate about what I do.